Hi, it's Nick Davis, owner director of the Warwickshire School of Hypnotherapy and also creator of the Blast Technique. www.blast/technique.com. Okay, so today I'm going to talk about one of the Blast self-care technique protocols that I've made free for you guys. It's basically me giving something back, a free tool or technique for you if you want it, or your clients. So what we found is I did some research with a biochemist, and what we found from the amygdala, particularly the top of the amygdala, that is implicated with PTSD, trauma, stresses, anxieties when we move out of there into the striatum terminalis and the bed nucleus, which is involved in anxiety. What we found is that bilateral stimulation, there are lots and lots of studies, mostly from EMDR, which I'm very grateful for the research that's happened around that, is that bilateral stimulation actually calms the amygdala down and is implicated within non-consciously, so not consciously or unconsciously, but non-consciously resolving PTSD and trauma. So what we did is we created a technique to work to calm the responses down for clients. So I'm not saying this is going to work for PTSD or trauma, although in some cases it will, but what I'm very specific about is saying what each tool and technique does. It will work for other things, but I don't like this whole catch-all, this technique will resolve everything, because that's just not true. So I would use this technique for clients or people who are suffering with stress or anxiety, and particular other treatments for things like ME, fibromyalgia, any kind of responses where the amygdala is hyper-sensitized, and also the thalamus at the top, the kind of magnifying glass which exaggerates anything. So for any illnesses or conditions where we need to calm those stress responses down, this is a technique I would use for that. Okay, so like I'm saying, most of the time this stuff's not permanent. What it does, it just trains the amygdala and the other areas in the limbic system to just to calm the response down. Okay, so this is called the Blast tapping protocol. So it's not the Blast technique. The Blast technique is more of an eye movement technique with the modality stacked in. This is the Blast tapping self-care protocol number 4. Okay, so what you do is you get your client, it's really, really important that the client sits in symmetry, arms and legs flat, not the legs in too tight, just nice and relaxed, and then you ask the client about how they're feeling. Is it anxious, is it stressed, is it an event that keeps coming back? And I use this for clients that may have booked a free consultation and I need to treat something, but I'm kind of worried about their levels of stress or anxiety in between sessions. So the first thing that you do is you get the client to sit there and talk about what it is that they are feeling or experiencing, and then get them to just take a few breaths, and you can do some arm drops or anything like that, but just make sure they're relaxed, because then we'll get a true indication of what we're working with. So the first thing you do is you say, right, okay, what emotions are you feeling and what sensations are you feeling? So they'll tell you. So it might be anxious, might be stress. So then you say, where are you feeling these things? So they might say, my heart's racing, I've got hot in my head feels tight, or I've got pain, or my legs are restless. Now I work with lots and lots of sports people, so this is a technique I use a lot with them. Feel free to share it with whoever you like, as long as you keep the copyright on the thing and make sure that obviously you recognise it as my technique. But I'm happy for you to share it far and wide with your clients and colleagues and everything like that. So once we've established what they're feeling and where they're feeling it, then what we ask them to do is to give it a significant unit of disturbance. So I'll say between 0, which is nothing at all, and 10, which is the worst you've ever felt. Whereabouts are you on that continuum? So then we can start, we've got an initial figure. And then what we do is we say, just relax, don't force it in, don't push it out, but just relax, allow those feelings in, allow them to do whatever they need to do. Take your 2 fingers and then count to 20. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. We have to count out loud with you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and then we swap over to the collarbones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And then we ask them to move their eyes to the left, eyes to the right, eyes to the left, eyes to the right, eyes to the left, eyes to the right. Take a nice deep breath in. And then say to themselves in the mind, I'm okay. And then what we'll do is we'll measure the SUD, the significant unit disturbance between 0, which is nothing at all, 10 is the worst you've ever experienced or can imagine. Whereabouts are you? Test it, and then we go through the process again. And the reason we do this is when I was working with this biochemist, he said that the majority of the nerve endings from the brain are more clustered here, 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 and across here. So what we found is that in order to stimulate those nerve endings to get to this limbic system in the brain and get to the right areas, that you're better off tapping here in this kind of area here rather than anywhere else. Okay, and so the process is 20 just above the top of the eyebrows, 20 on the cheeks, 20 on either side of the chin, 20 on each collarbone, eyes to the left, eyes to the right, eyes to the left, eyes to the right, eyes to the left, eyes to the right, 3 times each side. Take a nice deep breath in, and then say to themselves in the mind, I'm okay. And then we measure the SUD. So what you do is you just cycle through that again and again until you get down to those levels. It's a really good self-care technique for sending your clients away, and I do spend some time with them running through it about 3 times. Because what I found is I was working with some international dancers this week, and what happened is they can get very strong feelings of anxiety before they go out to perform. So this was a technique I taught all the dancers to use before they went out, and they find it very helpful. But I use it for all sports, clients, for self-care, for stress or anxiety or anything else. But it's also great for you as a therapist if you're busy and stuff like that. Just run through the procedure once or twice before your next client, and what it does, it balances the brain, it gives you that sense of calmness. Okay, so I'd love your thoughts and feedback. But thank you for watching the video, and thank you for using the technique, because what I want to do is I want to get it out there as wide as I can to help as many people as I can. So thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll catch up with you soon. Take care.